Well, hi there, food friends. It's Kevin.
Hi, Kevin, and I'm Ralph. I'm behind the camera.
And Ralph, last time we were making, we made a side dish and we made creamed corn.
Yes.
And remember how good it was, and we were kind of inspired by our trip to the Lowry's Prime Rib in Chicago.
Right.
So a couple people emailed and said, you know what, thank you for the creamed corn recipe. How about creamed spinach?
The funny thing is, those were both sides at Lowry's restaurant, creamed spinach and creamed corn. And when you and I were making the creamed corn last time, before we started, I said, "Have we made creamed spinach? Because that's really one of my favorites too."
Yeah, and we got creamed spinach when we were at Lowry's.
No, but I mean, had we ever filmed an episode of it?
I don't think so.
So now we decided.
So creamed corn, now creamed spinach. Okay, so we should just do a whole creamed vegetable
cream theme.
Yes,
and I asked Kevin,
series.
And I asked Kevin to bring up from the basement some appropriate music. I was thinking sea shanties or Popeye, and he brought up
spinach.
He brought up Spanish guitar music. I said spinach, not Spanish.
So, again, you can always start with fresh spinach if you have it. But I always keep a few of these in the freezer on hand. These are frozen chopped spinach, and these are 10 ounces. So we're going to use 2 of these. You could use get a big bag of the spinach leaves.
Has it been thawed out?
And cook it down. No, they haven't been thawed out. These are still frozen. So if you have time and you think about it, you could always put these in the refrigerator the day ahead of time and let them thaw out. But always, if you're thawing these out in the fridge, make sure you put a plate or something under it. There's a lot of water in these in spinach, and so what we're going to do here is I'm going to take.
You wouldn't thaw them out in the box. You're saying if you were to thaw them out?
No, you can thaw them out in the box.
Where would all the water go?
Well, I would put under a plate because it would leak out.
Oh, I thought you meant take it out of the box and put it on a plate. Okay.
So, or you could put it in a bowl like this and thaw it out like this. So what I'm going to do in order to sort of expedite is we're going to put this in the microwave.
So this is a step saver.
So yeah, I don't use a microwave a lot for cooking, but it is great for warming things up or doing quick defrosts. So I'm just putting it in a glass bowl, and we'll put it in for maybe about 5 minutes or so.
Do you have to change the setting to defrost?
Yes, and so we'll do it here, and it doesn't, these crazy things. Okay, we'll let it do its thing. Now, while that is doing kind of its thawing out, I'm gonna get together some stuff here. Here's what's gonna go in our creamed spinach, Ralph. I've got a clove of garlic, and I've got a shallot. Now, you could also use a small onion if you wanted to.
Shallot's kind of like a milder garlic or a stronger onion?
Well, yeah, it's from the same family.
Okay.
Some people think of it as kind of almost a cross between a onion and a garlic, but it has a kind of to me it's more oniony than garlicky, and it has sort of a mild onion kind of flavor to it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to mince up this shallot as small as I can, and then the garlic I'm going to kind of give it a press down. That helps. When you smash that garlic like that, then look, the skin just comes right off.
Not to mention it helps release the oils where all the flavors are.
Exactly. Then this is my garlic press, and I'm going to put this in here, and this is what I'm going to use to kind of push the garlic out over my saute pan. So I got 3 tablespoons of butter here, and we're going to get that melting. So we're going to melt the butter, and then we're going to kind of just quickly saute and soften our shallot and garlic, and then we'll add the other ingredients. So we've got our spinach thawing out in the fridge, again, or in the microwave. If you're using fresh spinach, you'd cook it down and then you'd strain it out to get all the water out, and then you'd chop it up. This spinach is already chopped. We won't have to do that, but we will have to get all the water out of the spinach after it's
So after it's thawed, we'll have to drain it.
Yep. Then I've got salt, pepper, a little flour, some nutmeg, Parmesan cheese, and then I got 2 cups of half and half, which is what we're using. You could also use whole milk. You could use a combination of heavy cream and milk if you wanted to, okay? So let me get cleaned up here and we'll get back and start getting our veggies together. Okay, looks like we are good here. That's just from the steam.
But it's not hot?
I mean, it's warm, okay, but let's do this.
It's like a Jiffy Pop. You remember that popcorn?
Oh, yes, I do. We used to have it when we were kids. Okay, see, it's all soft. And there's one little chunk there. So here's what I'm going to do. We're going to leave this. But see, look at all that water that's in there.
Right.
Okay. So just make sure there's no chunks. It's pretty much all soft.
Right.
And again, this spinach is already chopped up, so we don't have to do anything to it. I'm going to just set it here. Okay. We will strain it out.
Because we want cream spinach, not watered down spinach.
Well, you don't want watered down spinach. Now here I'm chewing my shallot here, Ralph, and I'm
chewing your shallot?
Doing my shallot.
Oh.
So we're gonna, as shallots go, this one was a little bit on the bigger side, which is fine. It'll give a nice flavor. We're gonna
a little stronger than you thought, right?
Well, they are, but these are milder than, say, an onion. If you didn't have a shallot, you could certainly use a small onion or part of a milder onion. Okay, so you want to dice this pretty finely. Okay, so hopefully you have a nice sharp knife. Okay, and we're going to see how I kind of got that diced up. That's just about
because you want the spinach to be the star of this dish, not the onions or shallots or garlic or whatever.
But the shallots will just kind of be in the background,
adding a nice note. Kind of sweat them.
So here's my garlic clove. I would say this would be a saute. Okay.
Saute. Okay.
So here's my garlic. Let's put that in there. Press all that. The other nice thing about a garlic press is, when you use it, it also gives you kind of the oil of the garlic, which also has a lot of flavor. Okay, so we're just gonna maybe 2 or 3 minutes, okay, in the hot butter.
How much butter was that?
3 tablespoons. Okay, we're gonna make a roux, which we know this, right? When we combine fat and flour together,
makes
that's a roux. So first, what we're gonna do is saute our onions, our shallots, and our garlic in there. Okay, we're going to give it another minute. I'm going to come over here to our spinach. Now, what I like to do is I'm going to kind of put it in this strainer here.
Get it all.
Okay, yes, we're going to get it all.
Oh, you got a fork. I was going to say I can grab a spatula.
Let me get all of this spinach.
Waste not, want not.
In our, okay.
So you put that into a big strainer.
So this is just getting the bulk of the liquid out. But then what I do is I save, this is an old tea towel. I'm going to turn this down just a little bit.
Yeah, we don't want it to brown, we just want it to saute.
An old cotton flour sack.
It's not going to ruin it, is it?
What?
It's not going to ruin it, is it?
No, it's clean, but I only use this for spinach. So look what I do. I'm going to put it in there.
Oh, and it works to press it out good.
And then I grab by the corners, we'll take it right to the sink. Wow. Look at all that water, see?
Almost like a cheesecloth.
Exactly, and a cheesecloth is even more porous than this, so this to me kind of
make sure that you hold in the chunks.
Spinach. Look at all that water, and you really want to get as much of that out as you can. Okay? All right. There we go. Because when you look, that's all there is. Okay, so here's our, let's go back here and see, it's starting to brown. So I kind of wanted to catch it before it even got to that point, but that's okay. Now I'm putting my 3 tablespoons of flour in here. So remember, we had 3 tablespoons of melted butter. We did the garlic. We did the shallots. And this is our roux, Ralph. And remember, when we add our flour, we want to cook it out so we don't get that kind of raw, floury taste.
Right.
Okay.
I remember that.
Remember that?
So you always make sure that the heat is sufficient to cook the flour but not burn it.
Exactly.
But between the fat of the butter and the onions the shallot sweating and the garlic, you should be good to go to let that cook properly.
This is where we
flavor it or cream it.
Now we take our cream. So we're basically making our cream sauce, right?
So it doesn't take long for the flour to cook.
No, I mean a minute. How long has it been, really, right? Okay.
Yeah, going on a minute, I guess.
So now what we're going to do is we're going to add our 2 cups.
Did you lower the heat?
I did. We're going to add our 2 cups. It helps to have your cream or half and half, whatever you're using, at room temperature. All right, we're going to put that in there. We want to get this all mixed together. Now, let's come on over here and grab our spinach.
Our spinach clump.
But it's really dry, right? So, which is what we wanted.
Oh, right. Okay, so now you can just kind of break it up into the...
Yeah, and it will break up as it mixes in with the liquid.
Okay.
Okay.
So that's another reason why you want the cream to be, the half and half to be room temperature, because you don't want to start from scratch when you're putting in this room temperature or cold. Well, that's because the spinach isn't.
The spinach was warm.
Right. So you want to basically keep your pan from going back to 0.0.
Exactly.
In terms of the heat. And then
so
I
now
notice you're turning the heat
I'm turning up because
a touch, okay?
This is going to thicken as it heats. So I just want to see how it's starting to bubble here. That's what we want. Look at that.
And there's
I'm going to turn it back down.
A few other ingredients to go in there.
There is. So now, if this isn't creamy enough, we could add a little bit more milk. What do you think? I've got 2 cups in here. You can see the spinach almost absorbs it.
Does it call for cornstarch or anything?
No, it's not. It's totally not necessary, because look how nice and thick this is.
Yeah.
We used the roux instead of this cornstarch.
No, I don't think it needs any more milk or cream. I think if you do, go ahead.
No, which is we use. If you remember, Ralph, we used the roux when we made our cream corn. What we were using
was cornstarch.
We made a slurry. All right, so I'm going to put in a little bit of pepper to taste. I'm going to put in a little bit of salt to taste. I'm going to put in nutmeg. Now this is something with cream spinach.
Show folks what you're doing here.
So this is a whole nutmeg. Okay, you see that?
Yeah, you can buy those?
Yes, you absolutely can. And this is just a little grater I have.
Boy, it is. Looks like something from a dollhouse.
I know. But it's actually perfect for
such a small...
Yeah. And you know what? You just want to put a couple of good shavings in there, because the nutmeg shouldn't be...
overpowering?
No, it shouldn't. But you should be able to taste it, but just in the background.
Yeah, I can smell it. That's one of those things I do like about cream spinach. It gives it like a real comforty... I don't know, just a nice flavor and smell.
So let's taste this now for our seasoning. Needs a little more salt.
And we still haven't put our cheese in.
No. And I'm not putting a ton of salt in because...
the cheese is salty.
The cheese is salty.
But the cheese, I don't think you have enough.
No, this is about 3/4 of a cup of Parmesan cheese.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. And we're going to just mix this in. And of course, It will melt.
So has the heat gone down since
Yes,
you put
it's
the
on
cheese?
low now.
Okay.
Okay.
You want to make sure
because the heat, the residual heat. See how it's look at that cheese, how it's just
starts
disappearing.
to really melt in and integrate. So that's what you want.
Yeah.
If it was too high, it would just start to burn or bubble. Boy, that smells like the kind of cream spinach I remember.
I'm actually going to take the heat off. See how fast it came together?
Yeah, it's really a fun and easy dish, and I love it looks very creamy.
You could certainly, like, if you were making this for a side, oh, isn't that pretty? You could make this ahead of time. Let me get that in there. Okay. You could make this ahead of time.
What do you think?
Well, I'm going to let the cameraman tell me what he thinks.
Wow.
Pretty good, huh?
It's got the things I was looking for, which is a good spinachy flavor and a good creaminess, and you got just a hint of the nutmeg, enough to kind of give you that sweet little extra something.
Yeah.
And it's buttery, and it's got the shallots, but everything's just kind of like in the background of the creaminess and the spinach, which are in the forefront.
Yes. So what you can do, if you want to, like we're doing, you make it ahead of time for your dinner, right? So just get yourself a little casserole here, spray it down, and then what we'll do, we'll just put this in here.
Now,
and then you can just sort of, you can let it cool down, you can put this in the fridge, and you can reheat it later. Okay, reheats very nice.
So it's basically done. You don't have to bake it or anything?
It's done. No, it's done. It's cooked. It's all done. So, just...
Wow. That was easy, folks, wasn't it?
There it is. Okay. Now, if you love spinach like we do, this is just such a great way to have it. This is really good with roast beef, prime rib, steak, any kind of beef dish, really. I think it's particularly well suited for. Although, no reason you couldn't have this with a pork roast or, a turkey dinner, ham. Spinach is great.
It's something good you can eat with just about anything as a side. So
yeah. And again, we took a shortcut and used frozen chopped spinach, which is, always easy to keep in your freezer. And, make sure you have some Parmesan cheese and you have some half and half, or whole milk and
a little nutmeg.
Yeah, and the rest is, stuff that most people have in their kitchen. So
if you didn't have shallots or a shallot, could you just use a chopped onion?
You could. You could absolutely just use a chopped onion. Use a small one, or maybe just half of a medium onion if you don't have any tinier onion. You don't need a lot. Again, you want the spinach to shine through. Okay?
Yeah, sounds like a winner. Tastes like a winner. So it's just a very good balance of flavors.
So if you love the cream corn, here's your companion, cream spinach.
By request.
By request. We had a great time putting this together. Hope you had a great time being with us here in the kitchen. And you know what? We'll see you next time right here on Cavalcade of Food. Bye, everybody.
Bye.